Hi everyone, my name is Carrie Jane and welcome back to my channel. Now, previously, before I'm recording this right now, I just turned on the camera and started talking and I was about to do the One Life Path number, but then I realized I had more to say. So instead of being the One Life Path number, this video is going to be an introduction, me talking about what this number will reveal about you, how you should look at it, basically any insights that I have to share about it. Before I get into the depth of the life path number, let me just quickly suggest that if you have not watched my previous video, stop what you're doing and go back, watch that video on how to calculate your life path number, and then watch this video. And that will basically get you prepared for this whole series, and you'll know who you are when I'm talking about you. I think that's all I have to say, and let's get to it. The thing that the life path number tells about us is that we are basically on a set of tracks and we're going somewhere, and we're going to have a lot of influences. We're going to be noticing different things on our travels. We may want to take stops along this route. We might consider, do I go left or right on this tracks? But nonetheless, this life path number basically sums up what tracks you are going to have the option of pursuing and what you need to pay attention to, because a lot of people go through life without even noticing that they're on this track and what that means for them and what they should be doing with it, and hence why in the previous video I called the life path number the midlife crisis number. Ignoring your identity, essentially, ignoring literally the path that you're on in life, will lead to some issues. And usually it takes quite a while for us to figure out what is going on. If you're young and you're watching this video, there is a greater likelihood that a few things could be going on right now while you are listening to what I have to say about you, and how you relate to that. Not that this won't be applicable to you when you're older. I just think that the longer you are progressing throughout this life path, the more that you're figuring out, and so it's just more likely that you would be the two kind of latter possibilities that I'm about to explain. And this doesn't make any sense right now, but hang in there. One is that I think it's most common if you're age 0 to 20 to hear this and not relate to it all. We don't really grow into, usually, not all the time, but usually it takes a while for us to grow into these numbers and what they mean, because it is such a major thing. It's not necessarily meant to happen for us all at once. We're not necessarily meant to self-actualize all at once and suddenly come to realize, actually, this is what I want for my life. And this is because of these inner attributes, because of these fundamental attributes. This is what's important to me, and this is what I need to pay attention to. Not everyone can do that from early on. It takes us a while. So that's my explanation for that. If half of it is true and half of it is not true, good job. You're walking down this path, you're finding clues to what you need to be doing in the future, and the rest of it is a mystery, and that's great. Good job. It's an exciting time. No matter, which of these people that you are right now, it's a very exciting time. If you are older than 20, older than 30, older than 40 in general, just older, and you're identifying with all that I'm saying very well, then this means you have successfully figured it out. You've successfully been able to see the path that you're on and what you're meant to do with it. If you are a person who is under that age and identifies with everything that I'm saying completely, you are in a position where I kind of see it as a homogeneous mixture, as pertaining to your entire life. You know, a homogeneous mixture is when you have a medium, say for example, ice cream, and its ingredients are evenly dispersed throughout the whole thing so that whatever scoop that you take out, it's identical to everything else. So in that frame of reference, or in that lens of perception, you are basically here participating as one constant tune throughout your life. That's a constant, and I think that this could mean a few different things for yourself and the people around you. I think that's a really interesting, first of all, really interesting way to be, as most people experience life in this kind of parabola, or, you know, up and down. You're just here, you're born, you're like, I'm a 6 life path. I know that I want to have children. I know that I want to paint. I know that I want, I don't know, to live in Italy, whatever. Doesn't matter. But, you know, not a lot of people are like that, but it does happen. So whoever you are, even if I didn't really describe you in this introduction video, just know that there's so many different avenues and basically angles that you can take this from. So it is mind-boggling a bit, and that's why it has taken me like a really long time to try and make this series, because I prefer to do numerology one-on-one or in a group setting, just with people around me, so that I can tune into that person and have an actual, you know, an exchange with them, whatever level that they're ready for, and get to that unique expression, that unique angle that I'm talking about. And it makes me, that's why it makes me so uncomfortable to have to sit here and generalize the numbers, because I just want to be clear, it's not like that. When I sit down with you, there's so many different things that we talk about. First of all, I'm going to be able to see your whole chart, so I know all the influences in your numerological chart. And then once we get to talking, usually the person, the querent, will share more information with me whenever they're comfortable with. And once I get a sense of what they're dealing with currently and what their life has been like, I'll be able to be like, okay, well, this is exactly how a person would react with this life path in this kind of situation. This is the advice that I have to offer. This is the understanding on an intuitive level that I can give to that person, so that they have a unique reading, so that they have someone who's kind of looking at them under the microscope, but then is able to zoom out and see the whole thing and then relay that information to them. So this has turned, I kind of just like turned on my camera and was like, all right, I'll talk about the one life path, but this has turned into a bit more of an introduction video. So I think what I'm going to do is kind of like cap this off to contain this message, and then post the one life path video the same day that I post this video, and just, yeah, make it all in one day, and you'll have a little packet, I guess. You'll have, you know, your introduction and then the beginning of the series. Or, I mean, I already began it, but You get the picture. So let me just take a moment to thank you guys for watching my series, and also say that I'm really happy to finally sit down. I've been running around these past few days like a lunatic, and I finally just made a huge pot of coffee and said, forget it, I'm just going to sit down and make this video, because when am I going to have the time? And know that I'm thinking about you. Please comment in this series. I think that because I'm much better one-on-one, it would be I would be able to provide a much better service for you guys if it was more interactive. And just as quickly as I can before I conclude this video, I want to leave you with a little bit more about how I perceive the life path number, which helps me do my readings. You don't have to accept this interpretation. It's completely up to you. But just know that this is kind of how I look at it. And in my belief system, I feel that we choose our lives before we come here. We're very much aware of what we want to accomplish and what we want to do. We come with objectives. And so, to me, I look at the life path number as what the soul kind of chose as a track. Imagine you're going to school, right? And you choose a track for yourself. But the thing is that it could be something to master. Like, for example, you have a 3 life path. Your soul chose to master communications. You could be 5. Your soul chose to master freedom, but not necessarily. It could also be your soul wanting to accomplish some goal with the tool of communications, with the tool of freedom. What can you bring to the earth or your environment with these attributes? Not just you conquering or achieving or what have you, understanding the number that is you. So I hope I left you guys with a lot to think about. Thank you again for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel and click the little bell so that you're notified throughout the series and see what number we're up to and where we are going with this. And I'm very excited to embark on this journey with you. And I hope you're having a lovely day. Take care, guys.